A woman's true value is never measured by her looks, her wealth, or her status. Her value is measured by who she becomes. You see, becoming a high-value woman is not an accident. It's a choice. It's a discipline. It's a process. A high-value woman knows that honesty, kindness, and integrity will always outshine beauty. People may admire beauty, but they trust character, and trust is priceless. Character is the foundation of a person's value. And for a woman who wants to be truly high value, it begins with the strength of her character. Building strong character is not something that happens overnight. It is the result of conscious choices, consistent discipline, and a deep commitment to personal values. A woman of character is someone others can trust, admire, and respect, because she is anchored in principles that do not shift with circumstances or pressure. To build strong character, honesty must become a non-negotiable trait. Honesty is not only about telling the truth to others, but also about being truthful with yourself. It means acknowledging your weaknesses, admitting your mistakes, and not pretending to be someone you are not. Many people try to impress the world with an image, but a high-value woman understands that the image will eventually fade if it is not backed by substance. Honesty allows her to live with freedom and confidence because she has nothing to hide. Integrity is another pillar of strong character. It means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It means keeping your word, even when it costs you something. It means standing firm in your values, even when it is inconvenient. A woman who has integrity does not compromise her principles for temporary gain. People quickly recognize integrity because it shines through in actions, decisions, and even in small daily choices. Others may forget what you said, but they will remember how consistently you live by your values. That consistency is what sets a high-value woman apart. Kindness also plays a powerful role in building character. But kindness is not weakness. It is not about pleasing everyone or being a doormat. Real kindness flows from strength. It is the ability to treat people with respect, even when they cannot offer you anything in return. A woman with strong character knows that lifting others up does not diminish her own light. She gives encouragement, support, and care because she knows that influence is built through contribution, not control. Another part of strong character is responsibility. A high-value woman does not blame the world for her problems. She takes responsibility for her choices, her words, and her actions. When she fails, she learns. When she succeeds, she remains humble. She understands that life is not always fair, but she chooses to respond with strength instead of excuses. Responsibility builds credibility, and credibility builds trust. And without trust, no one can be seen as truly valuable. Discipline is also woven into character. Discipline is the ability to say no when you should, to hold yourself back from instant gratification, and to focus on long-term growth rather than short-term pleasure. A woman with strong character does not allow emotions, temptations, or social pressures to control her decisions. Instead, she controls herself. That discipline gives her a quiet power that makes her reliable, stable, and deeply respected. Respecting yourself first is the foundation of living a meaningful and valuable life. And for a woman who seeks to become high value, this principle cannot be ignored. The way you treat yourself sets the tone for how others will treat you. If you do not respect yourself, it is very difficult to expect respect from others. Respecting yourself is not about pride or arrogance. It is about recognizing your worth, setting healthy boundaries, and living according to standards that reflect the value you place on yourself. To respect yourself first, you must begin by knowing who you are. Self-awareness is the root of self-respect. When you understand your strengths, weaknesses, values, and priorities, you gain clarity about what you will accept and what you will refuse in your life. Too often, people compromise their own dignity just to be liked or to fit in. But a woman who respects herself does not trade her values for temporary approval. She knows that respect from others means little if she has lost respect for herself in the process. Boundaries are a natural extension of self-respect. They are the invisible lines that protect your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being. A high-value woman is not afraid to say no when something does not align with her principles. She does not tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or toxic behavior because she understands that allowing such treatment only diminishes her worth. Boundaries are not walls. They are filters that keep out what harms you and allow in what nourishes you. By enforcing boundaries, you silently teach others how to treat you. Self-respect is also tied to the way you speak to yourself. The internal dialogue you carry shapes your confidence and your outlook on life. A woman who respects herself does not constantly criticize or belittle herself. Instead, she acknowledges her imperfections while still affirming her value. She speaks to herself with the same kindness and encouragement she would give a close friend. Investing in growth is one of the most powerful decisions a woman can make to elevate her value and create a life of purpose. Growth does not happen automatically. It is intentional. It requires time, energy, and commitment. A high-value woman understands that if she wants to remain relevant, confident, and capable, she cannot stay the same year after year. She must constantly evolve, expand her knowledge, refine her skills, and strengthen her mindset. Growth is not just about career or financial success. It is about becoming the best version of yourself in every area of life. The first step in investing in growth is developing a hunger for learning. Learning should not end with formal education. It should be a lifelong habit. A woman who invests in growth reads books, listens to empowering content, attends seminars, and seeks mentors who can guide her. She is curious about the world and never assumes she knows it all. Every new piece of knowledge becomes a tool she can use to improve her thinking, her decisions, and her opportunities. Growth also means learning from experiences. Every challenge, every failure, and every setback carries a lesson. A woman who invests in growth does not waste time blaming circumstances. Instead, she asks, what can I learn from this? How can I become stronger because of it? Mistakes become her teachers, and struggles become her stepping stones. By turning difficulties into lessons, she transforms pain into power. This mindset of growth allows her to rise above disappointments, while others remain stuck. Emotional maturity is one of the most defining traits of a high-value woman. It is the ability to understand, manage, and express emotions in a way that strengthens both yourself and those around you. Life will always present challenges, disappointments, and pressures, but the difference between someone who thrives and someone who crumbles is emotional maturity. A woman who invests in this area becomes calm in the face of chaos, wise in the face of conflict, and graceful in the face of adversity. The first part of emotional maturity is self-awareness. A woman who is emotionally mature knows her triggers, her strengths, and her weaknesses. She does not let her emotions control her blindly, and she does not deny them either. Instead, she acknowledges what she feels and takes responsibility for it. Emotional maturity also means practicing self-control. Many people allow moods to dictate their actions, but a woman of value understands that control over herself is a form of strength. She does not react impulsively to every situation, and she does not allow temporary emotions to damage long-term goals. This level of control gives her presence authority because people know she can be trusted to stay steady, even under pressure. Another element of emotional maturity is empathy. A high-value woman learns to step into the feelings and perspectives of others. She listens, understands, and responds with compassion. Living with purpose is one of the strongest qualities that separates an ordinary life from an extraordinary one. A high-value woman does not drift aimlessly or allow the world to dictate her path. She decides what her life is about and commits herself to it fully. Purpose is not something given by society or handed down by others. It is discovered through self-reflection, courage, and clarity. When a woman chooses to live with purpose, she becomes focused, intentional, and unstoppable. Living with purpose begins with knowing your why. Many people live day to day without ever asking themselves what they are truly here for. They go through routines, chase trends, and pursue approval, but deep inside they feel empty. A woman of value takes the time to ask herself meaningful questions. What do I stand for? What do I want my life to represent? What impact do I want to leave behind? When she finds her answers, she discovers a sense of direction that brings energy and passion to everything she does. Purpose is powerful because it acts like a compass. Without it, distractions are everywhere, and it is easy to waste time on things that do not matter. With purpose, a woman knows where to focus her energy. She does not chase every opportunity, because not everything aligns with her mission. She learns to say no to what is meaningless, so she can say yes to what is meaningful. A high-value woman who lives with purpose does not measure her life only in material success. Money and recognition may come, but they are not the ultimate goal. Her purpose often lies in contribution, in service, and in creating value for others. She understands that real fulfillment comes from making a difference, whether big or small. Adding value to others is the final and perhaps the most beautiful mark of a high-value woman. True greatness is not found in how much you achieve for yourself, but in how much of yourself you give to lift others higher. A woman of worth understands that success without contribution feels empty, while a life of service creates legacy. Adding value does not always mean grand gestures. Often it is the small, consistent ways you help others that leave the deepest impact. The first step in adding value is recognizing that every person you meet matters. A woman who adds value does not only focus on people who can benefit her, she treats everyone with dignity. Whether it is a colleague, a friend, a stranger, or even someone who disagrees with her, she looks for opportunities to encourage, support, and uplift. Adding value often begins with listening. Many people today want to be heard, but few are willing to listen. A high-value woman understands that sometimes the greatest gift she can give is her full attention. She listens not just to reply, but to understand. Through listening, she discovers the needs, dreams, and struggles of others, and she positions herself to provide meaningful support. Another way she adds value is through encouragement. Words have power, and a woman of value uses them to build, not break. She speaks life into others, reminding them of their strengths when they doubt themselves, and motivating them when they feel discouraged. She does not flatter insincerely, but she gives genuine praise when it is deserved. A woman who adds value also shares her knowledge and skills. She does not hoard wisdom to herself. She mentors, teaches, and guides others on their journey. By sharing what she has learned, she multiplies her impact far beyond her own life. She understands that helping others grow does not diminish her success. It expands it. When she helps others win, she creates a cycle of inspiration that continues to spread. Adding value also requires generosity. This generosity is not limited to money. It includes time, attention, and care. A woman of value looks for ways to serve, whether through volunteering, helping a friend, supporting a family member, or contributing to her community. At times, adding value also means challenging people to grow. A high-value woman does not only give comfort, she also gives truth. She has the courage to speak honestly when someone needs correction or perspective. She does this with love, not judgment, because she cares about their growth. True value is added not just by making people feel good, but by helping them become better. When a woman makes adding value a priority, her life becomes bigger than herself. She gains influence not because she demands it, but because she earns it. People trust her, admire her, and seek her out because she makes their lives richer. She becomes a source of light in a world that often feels dark, and her presence becomes a blessing to those around her.